What's up, everybody? It's your boy Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. Kick back, relax, and come take a ride with me. So, former NBA point guard, NBA champion Derek Fisher, former coach of the New York Knicks and the Los Angeles Sparks, has taken a head coaching job in Los Angeles at an all-boys private school where he will be led by his son, as well as coaching the Barnes twins, Matt Barnes' twin sons, Derek Fisher's stepsons. If you don't understand the irony, we're about to get into it. So let's get into it.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
So Derek Fisher spent 18 seasons in the NBA, won multiple championships. After his playing days of just racking up that vast knowledge and being one of the highest IQ guys in the NBA, he became coach of the Knicks for 2 seasons and then spent another 4 seasons in the WNBA coaching the LA Sparks. So he's seen basketball at multiple levels. Under his tenure, the Knicks finished with a 40-96 record. And they finished last in the Eastern Conference during his first year as head coach. After a few years off, he went back, got the Sparks gig, and he did better there, had a team record of 54-46. After that, he was coaching an 8th grade basketball team, working with some of the young guys and just giving back to the game. Now, he will accept a position at Crespi Carmelite High School, which is in Los Angeles, all-boys school that has won 2 state championships we mentioned. Now, he said this about the move, quote, "Coaching and teaching is a true passion, and I look forward to continuing this focus on the next generation of young student athletes. Go Crespi," Fisher said. And that's a statement coming from the school, end quote. Now, the Celts will play in the Mission League, so we could potentially see some action between Bryce James, LeBron's son, as well as Derek Fisher's Celts team, which will be led by his son, Drew Fisher, who transferred over from Sierra Canyon, one of the rivals, as well as his stepsons that he has with the former Miss Gloria Barnes, now Gloria Fisher, Carter and Isaiah, Matt Barnes' twin sons. And just looking at film of the twins, man, they look pretty polished, pretty skilled as far as freshmen go. Shooting the rock, they can absolutely knock down the jumper. You know what I'm saying? Good size on them. So it'll be interesting to see, man. They're going to have a big welcoming for sure. But they did some good things on the AAU circuit this summer and have been, going viral in mixtapes and stuff like that. So they're definitely making a name for themselves early on. But these 3 will have to lead this group in one of the toughest conferences in all of California, man. So it's definitely going to be a challenge. But the irony, though, that you got to understand, you got to listen to this story about how Matt Barnes put the fisticuffs on him to really get how ironic this is.
So you and Derek Fisher had a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were friends.
Yeah.
Derek started dating Gloria
Mm-hmm.
without you actually knowing.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess he actually started staying at your house
Mm-hmm.
with your sons
Yeah.
in the house.
Yeah.
Then you found out one day, and you were roughly 95 miles away
Yeah.
when you found out.
So this was where I was in Memphis. I left from Memphis a little bit early, just to get acclimated to my new teammates. We, as the Memphis Grizzlies, came back to Cali to have training camp in Santa Barbara. So at this point, Gloria and I are split up, and it's a cool line of communication. You know what I mean? So we're cool. So I hit her up like, yo, I'm coming back for training camp. I haven't seen the boys for a minute. Can you bring the boys down Friday? Saturday is my last day. And then I probably going to get Sunday off so I can just go back to LA. You know what I mean? So I can just spend more time with the boys. And she was cool with it. So she brings the boys down Friday. We hang out, get to see the boys. Saturday, the boys come for practice, my last day of practice. And our coach's like, okay, we're off Sunday. Be back in Memphis by practice is like 1:00, so just be back in Memphis Monday morning. So I end up driving back to LA with Gloria and Derek. driving back to LA with Gloria and the boys.
Right.
You know, so I'm driving, her truck home. We're not really talking to him. Like I said, we're cool, but it's just not, like we're separated. We're not too, so we're really not talking too much. Like she's on her phone and I'm just focusing, looking at my phone, talking to the boys a little bit. So we make a pit stop maybe like 45 minutes into the drive from Santa Barbara back to LA. Me and the boys get one thing, she gets another thing. So me and the boys are in the Escalade watching their little cartoon way in the back. And we're waiting for Gloria to come back. And she starts walking out of the place she got her food, not realizing that her Bluetooth comes on in the car. It's just like a movie. So her Bluetooth, so her whole conversation stops the boys' movie. They don't really pick up on it, but I'm just like, yo, I fucking know this voice. And I hear, baby, I miss you, and I can't wait to see you again. And we had so much fun in New York. I'm like, what the fuck? That's Derek's voice. So that's the first time I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So she gets back, so she's maybe 10 feet from the car, and I guess I'm just ice grilling her, that she like freezes like a deer in the headlights. Like she knows by this time that her Bluetooth is on in the car, so she gets back in the car. I'm like, who the fuck you talking to? And she kind of freezes up, and obviously I'm not going to get super loud because the boys are in the back, and I know it was Derek, and I said, I was like, Derek, next time I see him, I'll beat the shit out of you, and it hung up. And then the boys' cartoon comes right back on. So needless to say, like I said, well, I wasn't really going to get into it with her, so it was dead silence like the next hour back home. She drops me off at my condo in Marina. I say bye to the boys, and then I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? So I'm thinking, I'm back in my place. I'm smoking, like, I'm going to whip this dude's ass. And it's not even so much, just come to me. It's a hard situation, but come to me. But I end up finding more shit out. So then later that night, one of my twins hits me, and he's kind of shook, and he's like the rambunctious twin. Like he's the one that's always bouncing off walls, and he kind of just, his vibe is off, and he's FaceTiming me, and I'm like, Carter, what's up, bro? He shakes his head, nothing. It's like, well, what's going on? Like, why are you not talking? He just shakes his head, nothing, and then he puts his head down on the couch and puts a pillow over his face, and in the phone, he's like, your friend Derek is over here. And I'm like, no fucking way. Like, this is not real. I'm like, what? I was like, where's your mom? And he's like, well, mommy, Isaiah, and Derek are at the store or some shit like that. So then I hit my other twin, Isaiah. I'm like, hey, what's up, bro? I was like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, we just got done running errands. We went to the store and to the airport. I'm like, oh, who did you pick up from the airport? And I think it was tough. So they're probably, what is this? They're probably 6 at this time. So it's almost like I'm asking him a question, but he doesn't want to tell on his mom. So I can tell him looking at his iPad, and he looks up at his mom like, can I answer this question? So I'm like, all right, let me talk. He's like, we went to pick up mommy's friend Derek. And I'm like, oh, so Carter said that's my friend. And then Isaiah said that's mommy's friend. So I was like, let me talk to your mom. And she takes the iPad, and she's like, I can't talk right now. I'm getting ready to have some people. I was like, man, fuck that. Like, we need to talk. So she goes in the garage, and she's like, well, I wanted to tell you, but today happened. I didn't know how to tell you. I was like, nah, fuck that. I was like, you got this dude around my kids, and you didn't tell me. You know what I mean? Like, you got this dude in my house, and you didn't tell me. Like,
which you're paying for, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which makes it a little
right.
A little stingier.
Right. So I'm just like, and then she cops like a little attitude where like, you can't tell me who I can be with, and hangs up on me. I'm like, okay. But so by this time, like, both my cars are already out in Memphis, and this is pre-Uber for me. So like, I have my homeboy stays with me, but he's always gone. His Bentley was downstairs, but I couldn't find the keys. So I'm rummaging through the house. He's in Vegas, like, bro, where are your keys? I need your keys. I need to go somewhere. And I kind of briefly tell him I need to find your keys. So I finally found his keys. I go down the parking lot, put that bitch in reverse, and he has a flat tire. And it's a Bentley, so I can't just like rough the shit up. So I'm just like, fuck, what do I do? So I say, fuck it. So I just drive it. I put the hazards on and drive like 3 miles an hour, like 4 blocks to the gas station, put some air in the tire. I'm like, fuck it, I'm on. So I'm headed over there. So I think the whole situation was, I don't know where Kanye heard the story from, but everyone thought that once Kanye said 90 miles or 95 miles, that I drove from Santa Barbara to Manhattan Beach, when all I drove was from Marina Del Rey to Manhattan Beach.
Okay, which is what, like 20 miles or something?
It's 15 minutes.
15 minutes, right.
Yeah. So
well, I guess you were bumping Tupac the whole time.
The whole time, man. So I'm bumping Tupac.
Probably not the right type of music
so
at this point.
I hit up Gilbert Arenas, And I'm just like, kind of briefly give him what's going on. I was like, I'm probably gonna need to get bailed out of jail tonight. He's like, what's going on? And I'm just like, Derek's, and I kind of give him a little story. He's like, Gilbert's a motherfucking fire starter himself. So
he's the instigator.
He was gassed anyways. Like,
he's the guy that brings the gun into the locker room.
Right. He's like, I got you. Whatever you need, you're good. So I end up getting to the house, and I give him my keys back by this time. So the front door's locked, and I hear people in the backyard, and I smell the fire pit. So I hop the fence. And it's crazy too. Like I'm in a hoodie and in my beanie, and I'm walking along the side of the fence. And then this is probably 10 o'clock at night by now. So you walk down the side of the house, and then the backyard opens up a little bit. And as soon as I turn into the backyard, I see Derek with his arm around Gloria. So I just fire on him, stuck him.
Well, I guess you jumped over the gate.
Yeah, I jumped over the back fence because it was locked. So I hit him. He falls into the sliding glass door.
Okay, so you actually punch him in the face,
Yeah,
and you connect.
Okay. And hit him and knock him into the sliding glass door. And then I'm jumped on by like 3 or 4 dudes. Everyone's screaming. All the girls are telling me to stop, Matt, stop, Matt.
There was some sort of code that was broken. And you already talked about the fact you've got to kind of manage this relationship. You're the coach and you were just a player. And do you stay friends with these guys? Did you view it that way, as like a code being broken?
I personally didn't and don't now. I viewed it as Matt and I played together for one season. It was 5 years prior to when Gloria and I started having a conversation after we both had filed for divorce and going through the divorce process. I didn't view it as a code, unwritten code thing. I don't view life in that way.
Yeah.
It either is or isn't. People that work together, I'm sure if you're a great researcher and you have great researchers around here, that
Sure.
there are probably other people that are in relationship now whose ex-spouses are people that used to work together
Right.
in the same building
Yeah.
or
Small
at the
world.
same law firm or at the same studio or whatever. I just think people, they got excited about it because it was something that maybe had not happened before in the NBA. So they wanted to, that we know of.
It's public.
You know what I mean? So yeah, whether or not people had or have an issue with it, I'm at a place where that's not my concern anymore. Not concerned about what people think about who I'm dating, who I love, who I'm engaged to. It's not their life, it's mine. The same way I wouldn't judge somebody else for who they choose to be with in life, their sexual orientation, their religion. I don't base my decision on whether or not I like you because of the color of your skin or who you go out with. I can only decide that between a relationship with you and knowing you. So for people that have judged or criticized me or questioned my character or my integrity based on something you read in the media that only one person is telling you happened, well, that's your problem for judging me. That's not mine.
Yeah.
So I'm good.
Yeah.
And so I'm not hanging on to that as though that's why life has happened this way and this, like, I don't know what to tell people that still have an issue with it. Because I love who I love, and that's my choice.
Sure.
The same way we all have choices to decide who we want to be with and what kind of life we want to live.
You and Matt cool now?
I would say we are respectful because I'm in his kid's life, and he's in my kid's life essentially because of the issue was never mine or Gloria's. It was more his, and it's also important not to. Like the role that I play in Matt and Gloria's children's lives, it does them no good, and it does my children no good to come on TV and go back and forth about him or what he said about me or whether that's true or not and try to get into this tit for tat thing.
Yeah.
I'm too grown for that, and those kids don't deserve that. So he can say whatever, other people can say whatever. I know who I am. My mom, my dad, my fiance, my kids, the people that know me and love me, they know who I am. So I don't have to worry about somebody else trying to define me as me. It's just for me to live and do me and try to be the best person that I can, learn through success and failures and mistakes, but ultimately not allowing my life to be defined by others. And it's taken a lot of these failures and negative publicity for me to get to that point.
Yeah, so this runs deep, but like we said, hey, they're still together, and hey, no disrespect, that's Miss Gloria now. I'm just saying. But anyways, so we understand like the impact of this situation and how far they've come, apparently. So shout out to them, man. But yeah, D Fish about to do his thing in the Mission League, man. Got the Celts ready to rock. And hey, they have an uphill battle, but they have produced former pros, DeAnthony Melton being one of the recent ones, NBA guards. So they've had success. He's got a veteran leader in his son, Drew Fisher, coming over from Sierra Canyon, make an impact. He's got the two young bucks, the twins coming in as well. They're talented, so we'll see if they can make it happen, man. But definitely they're lucky to have Coach Fisher as a coach, man. Big time move. So we'll see what happens, man. Let me know how y'all feel in the comments, man. How ironic is this that Derek Fisher is now coaching the sons of Matt Barnes, his twins? After all the turmoil, they've come so far. Let me know how y'all feel in the comments. That's a wrap for us. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for all the latest and the greatest. And join our memberships. We got that exclusive content coming daily, weekly, whenever you need it. Till next time, we out.